Welcome to our first band performance for these fifth graders. This is such a wonderful evening where you'll get a chance to see what these students have been doing in band class over just a few short months of the start of the school year. I know for us it's really cool to see the progress that these kids make, and you guys getting to see your children at home just playing individually. Now you get to see what we get to see working with them at school, so we're really excited. Before we get started, my name is Mr. Klos. I'm the elementary band director on the north side of town here in Wheaton, and I want to introduce our other music faculty who are here that you will learn to grow and meet with over the next couple of years as well. To my left and to your right is Mr. Novak. He is the band director at Monroe Middle School. And to my left, to my right, to your left, who is pulling double duty with a concert here at Franklin again tomorrow night with his own kids, is Mr. Makaryk, the band director of Franklin. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. I know, like we said before, it's a little bit crowded, but we are super excited. We're not going to take too much more time because we want to get to playing. So if you guys could please really quickly silence your cell phones if at all possible. Your students and children have been working really, really hard. We want to make sure that you're focused on what they're doing during this concert, okay? I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Novak, and he's going to start off with our first piece.
Everybody's looking at how this gym and how we are packed in here. What I see is support everywhere for music education. So students, can you do us a huge round of applause, or give us a huge round of applause for all of your parents that are here tonight? And parents and friends and alumni, can you give a huge round of applause for your students? So we are going to start with a full group song. This is a classic in beginning band literature. This is Hot Cross Buns. And then the entire night you are going to have a little bit of a journey through all the different instruments to figure out what have they done to learn those initial steps to where they are now. So without further ado, please enjoy Hot Cross Buns. We were just focusing on tone production. And the best way that we can all describe this is if you took a 2-liter soda bottle or whatever and you blew a tone across the top. How many people have done that before? Awesome, you're on your way to play flute. Great, so flutes, can you take a deep breath and play one long tone? Ready? Beautiful, now take your hand and put it on the edge and make a low sound. Ready? Very good. And in order to play different notes, we use an articulation with our tongue. And we say 2, 2, 2, 2. We'll give them a round of applause for that. And we're going to play number 6, the 3-note combo. Everybody else gets set with number 11 right now.
and we're going to demonstrate a little bit of what we first learned on our instrument in order to get a sound on the clarinet. So while it's a little bit of a silly sound, it's very important, I promise. This is what beginning clarinet sounds like. All right, here we go. Play that sound. Ready? Go. All right, now let's try to firm up those lips and that bottom chin. All right, we're going to try to play that note even higher. Ready and go. All right, now put that barrel back on. And now what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate how we've learned a few more notes even than some of the other students in the band by going down a partial scale. So clarinets, we're going to start on F and go down one finger all the way down to 3 fingers on the right hand, okay? Here we go, start on that F. 1, 2, ready, go. Nice job. All right, now let's perform a little song, shall we? This is number 16, quarter notes. All right, let's give them a round of applause. And now we're going to move on to a classic as well with our full band called Au Clair de la Lune. This is number 24. Saxophones. Raise your hand, saxophones. All right. Our saxophone section is going to demonstrate the 4th note that we learned on our instrument. For them, it's the note C. Now, many of the other instruments in the band might play the same sounding note, but it might be a different note for them. For example, this would be the trumpet's F. It would be the trombone's E flat. Everyone plays different notes within the section. Saxophones are going to demonstrate the note C to them. Here we go, saxes. Number 21. Sorry, number 19. Nice job, saxophones. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, and the next song we're going to perform, number 26 for you guys, is called Go Tell Aunt Rhody. We're going to turn it back over to Mr. Novak, who's going to show off our brass instruments.
Thank you, Mr. Klos. All right, if you are a brass instrument or a brass player, can you please take your mouthpiece off and hold it above your head so you can show your audience members? Our higher brass instruments have smaller mouthpieces, and our lower brass, all the way down to the tuba in the corner, have the largest sounding instruments. And this, or largest mouthpieces. And this is actually the instrument. When you plug it into whatever they are playing, that's what helps create the sound, the characteristic sound. So with our mouthpieces only, all brass players, can you buzz a low sound? Breathe in. Take another breath. Breathe a medium sound. Another breath, a high sound. Okay, lovely folks. I love it. And one siren from low to high. Breathe. Awesome. Plug it back in, everybody. I'm a trumpet player, and this brings me back to my days. I love it. Okay. We are going to demonstrate with our trumpets and our horns first, and they're going to play song number 17 called Quarterly Report. You may have heard this in a living room near you. With the repeat. And next up we have our low brass section, and they are mighty, and they are in the back row. If you are holding a trombone, euphonium, or careful tuba, hold it over your head real quick so parents can see the larger size instrument. Very cool, I love it. We love carrying those home every day too. All right, we are going to demonstrate the fifth note that we learned. This is concert F for all of our low brass friends. Here we go. All right, I'm going to pass the microphone back over to Mr. Klos to talk about our wonderful percussion section. Thank you.
So our percussion section, for the most part, have been working on the bells, which is their keyboard instrument where they get to learn how to read notes and rhythms. They also have a snare drum, which we will be working on a little bit. You might have heard them playing that, or the snare pad at home, which is kind of a practice snare drum. Starting next week, and even this week a little bit, we're going to start working with bass drum and cymbals and some of the other accessory percussion as well at school. So they've got kind of a double duty thing going on where they've got to learn at least 2 different instruments. So what we're going to demonstrate first is our bells, and they're going to play what we call our 6-note scale. So the first 6 notes we learn on our instrument. Very good. Now before we do our snare pad, let's just do our bell song right now, okay? We're going to jump to number 13. All right, here we go. Mix it up. 1, 2. I'll try it one more time. Half notes, right? Here we go. 1, 2, ready. Nice job, percussion. Now, we're going to have them demonstrate really quickly on their snare pad, which they're just going to set onto their bells. We're going to have them demonstrate what we call our 8s and 8s exercise. And this is actually an exercise that they do in the high school drum line. So in a few years, when your students are in high school, if they're still playing percussion, you might hear this again. So we're going to demonstrate it on the snare pad. Nice job. All right. Now this begins the part of our concert where the rest of the songs are the whole band the whole time. All right, so this is our full band section. These are songs that we've started working on probably about 3 weeks into learning our band instrument, maybe even 4 weeks. So we've been playing these songs for just under about 2 months. So you can think about from where we started at the beginning of the concert, all right, those easier songs, to where we are now playing actual full-fledged music. So we're going to start off with one you'll all know, number 23, Merrily Roll Along. Now, I forgot to mention before, Mr. Novak, who teaches at Monroe Middle School, also teaches our students over at Sandburg Elementary School. But Mr. Makaryk, who teaches at Franklin, we wanted to make sure he got a chance to work with our students a little bit tonight as well. So he's going to conduct our song, Lightly Row.
Because before we do that and start to wind down our concert, raise your hand if you are going to eventually go to Monroe Middle School. Hey guys, turn those hands and wave at Mr. Novak. This is the future of Monroe Middle School right here. All right. Okay. Raise your hand if you're going to eventually go to Franklin Middle School. All right, and I'm lucky to have you. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next year. And parents, what you can do with this awesome energy and this just amazing potential right here is a couple things. The holidays are right around the corner. These kids need reads. They need to read up on different accessories that they get for their instruments. Maybe you can go to a music shop and find a book of music from Frozen 2. Maybe you can go on Google and just look up Jingle Bells or something. There's so much little things you can do that work wonders for getting excited about playing your instrument. And then we see that later on in middle school. I for one am amazed at how far the progress is that these guys come from beginning of 5th grade to even now in 6th grade, the kind of stuff that we're playing at the concerts and we'll be playing tomorrow night. So I encourage you guys to just really support your children through music, and this is just an incredible experience, and we love doing what we do, and we want to get everybody on board, so yay band. Here is Lightly Row. So the Walgreens are full of Christmas decorations. The Jewel Oscos are filled with Christmas decorations. So we're going to bring in the holiday season with Jingle Bells. Here we go. Mr. Novak.
And we are going to continue the holiday spirit with Dreidel, Dreidel. Here we go. So my public service announcement right now discusses practicing at home. And what we want to do is find that spot. We want to find that comfort zone. But we also want to create routine, but we also want to be flexible with that routine. So I think the expectation that we want to share with you today is that we are hoping that your child is picking up their instrument probably 5 times a week, 4 to 5 times a week. And we're not necessarily looking for it must be 20 minutes or it must be 30 minutes. But instead, what we are looking for is when we send our students home with new songs to practice, we are hoping hoping that they take the time to play through these shorter excerpts 4 or 5 times each. And however long that takes, that ends up being kind of the time commitment. After this concert, we all are starting to move into the Red First Performance Plus book. And those songs are full-length features. So stay tuned for that at our winter concert, or at our spring concert. However, when we start getting into that realm, maybe there are specific moments in that piece of music where your son or daughter is like, I need a little bit more help with that. So we are asking them at that point to look and pinpoint those specific measures that we know that they might need a little extra help with, and have them practice that first, and then go through and play the entire excerpt or the entire song. And what we are looking for is quality of practice, not quantity necessarily. So if they are getting the job done in a shorter amount of time, and you're like, well, that's totally fine. If it takes them a little bit longer, a few words of encouragement absolutely go a long way. So I've got 2 more songs before I leave you, and Mr. Klos is up for the grand finale. But I just wanted to impart that with you, and I also wanted to say, between Mr. Makaryk and myself, if you find a moment to shake hands, high five, fist bump us to say, hey, we're going to Monroe, we're going to Franklin, we would love to meet you tonight, if at all possible. So thank you so much on behalf of all of us for being here. The next song that we are playing is Good King Wenceslas.
We've got 2 more songs we're going to perform for you. Before we do that, though, I want to do something kind of fun that I forgot to mention before. One of the things we talk a lot in band is posture, because if we have good posture, we sit up nice and tall, we sound better, we look better, all those things. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of show you what we do to get our posture looking nice and tall and nice and strong, okay? So, are we ready? Nice and loud so they can hear you all the way wherever. South side of town. Here we go, ready? 1, 2, ready, and! I heard you that time, yeah! All right. As they do that, not only is it something fun for them, but you can see they all turn up a little bit, and that helps their posture, because when they sit tall, they sound better on their instruments. So let's see how they sound now. We're going to play one called 2-4 Old Mac, which is Old MacDonald. Uses all the notes we've learned so far in our instrument. This is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. coming out. We hope you had a great time. This is such a fun concert. We'll see you again in the spring.